Have you ever felt like no one cares about you? Like your struggles, your failures, and even your existence go unnoticed? What if I told you that this feeling could set you free? Watch till the end, because this one story might change the way you see life forever. Ravi sat on a worn-out wooden bench near the monastery, his face buried in his hands. His startup had failed. His friends had moved on. His parents, though supportive, didn't seem to understand the depth of his frustration. No one cared, he thought. No one really cared. Just then, an old monk, Master Tenzin, walked past and paused. He had seen this look before, the look of a man trapped in his own thoughts. "You seem troubled," the monk said, his voice calm like the wind before sunrise. Ravi said, "I worked so hard. I sacrificed sleep, time, relationships. And for what? No one even cares. My friends don't ask how I'm doing. The world keeps moving like nothing happened." Master Tenzin nodded, then gestured for Ravi to follow him. "Come, let me tell you a story." Ravi hesitated but got up and walked with the monk through the quiet monastery gardens. Many years ago, in a small village, there was a young man named Kiran. He, like you, believed that no one cared. He worked tirelessly in his father's shop, but customers only cared about what they bought, not about him. He loved a woman deeply, but she left him for another. His so-called friends disappeared when he had nothing left to offer. One day, Kiran decided he had enough. He climbed to the top of a nearby hill, intending to shout his frustrations at the sky. But as he stood there, he saw an old man sitting on a rock, peacefully watching the valley below. The old man noticed Kiran's distress and said, "You seem troubled. What weighs on your heart?" Kiran poured out his sorrow. "No one cares about me. I could disappear, and the world wouldn't notice." The old man chuckled. "Good, that means you're free." Kiran frowned. "Free? How does that make me free?" The old man picked up a handful of sand and let it slip through his fingers. "Do you see this sand? The world does not care if one grain is lost. And yet the ocean still embraces every grain that finds its way there. The sun still shines upon it. The wind still carries it. The truth is, no one cares. But not in the way you think. It is not neglect, it is freedom. You are free to live, to fail, to rise again without the burden of others' expectation. If no one cares, then you are free to care for yourself, to live for yourself." Kiran stood silent. For the first time, he saw his loneliness differently. It was not a curse. It was a chance to rebuild, to grow, to live as he wanted. Master Tenzin looked at Ravi, who stood deep in thought. "You see, Ravi, the world moves on. Not because it is cruel, but because that is its nature. People are too caught up in their own struggles. And that is your liberation. You don't have to seek validation. You don't have to carry the weight of others' opinions. If no one cares, then you are free to care for yourself. To start again without fear." Ravi felt something shift inside him. The weight on his shoulders didn't seem so heavy anymore. He smiled for the first time in weeks. "So, I'm free." Master Tenzin nodded. "Yes, free to live, to fail, and to rise again." Ravi bowed deeply. This time, he wasn't seeking approval. He was simply grateful. As he walked away from the monastery, the world outside looked the same. But inside, everything had changed. Now the moral of the story, no one cares, is not a curse. It is freedom. When we stop seeking validation from others, we gain the power to live on our own terms. The world moves on, and so should we. If no one cares, then you are free to care for yourself and create the life you truly want.